Okay, this next one is simultaneous equations. You've done solving simultaneous equations before. So basically, you have two lines of some sort and you want to know where those two cross. So there's algebraic and then there's technology stuff. So there's a couple of instruction sheets for the class pads to do with that. Okay, so let's look at alright, so we're going to solve that system of equations. Okay, so let's look at algebraically. So we've got y equals x and y equals x squared plus 3x plus 1. So if we like to think of this one here as equation 1 and this one here as equation 2, and if we sub 1 into 2, then the y at the front here becomes x, seeing as y is equal to x. So we get that, so then we get 0 equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. And in this particular case then we can factorise that, and that's x plus 1 all squared, so x would be minus 1. And of course from number 1, where y is equal to x, so y would be minus 1 as well. So in this particular case, there's one point of intersection, one solution to those simultaneous equations, and that's the point 1, negative 1, negative 1. Okay, of course you can use your calculator to do that, and as I said, there's an instruction sheet using the simultaneous equation template. And simultaneous equation template. You can have the equations in any form you like. Okay, so there's one example. Let's look at another example. Okay, so here's our two equations. We've got y equals x plus 1 and x squared plus y squared equals 4. So again, we can use the substitution method. So with both of these, the substitution method's the one we need to use because we've got that quadratic element, that squared element. So in this case here, what we're going to do is we're going to substitute this first one into here. Alright, so sub 1 into 2. Okay, so x squared plus x plus 1 squared equals 4. So now from here, of course, we need to expand, collect our like terms and that, get ourselves a quadratic, so that's x squared plus 2x plus 1. So we've got 2x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0 on that one. Alright, so this is going to be something we're not going to be able to factorise easily, so we're going to have to use the quadratic formula. Okay, so quadratic formula, x equals negative b, negative 2 plus or minus square root of b squared, 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2 times c, which is negative 3, all over 2a, so 2 2's is 4. Alright, so when you work through that and you solve that, you end up with x equals -1 plus or minus square root 7 over 2. So that means now we have two solutions. One of the solutions, -1 plus root 7 over 2, and the other solution, x2, is -1 minus root 7 over 2. We then need to go and substitute those in, and we substitute those into the first equation, which was y equals x plus 1. So y1 is -1 plus root 7 over 2 plus 1, and y2 is -1 minus root 7 over 2 plus 1. Alright, so when we combine things together and that, so what we end up here with this one is 1 plus root 7 over 2, and for this one over here, 1 minus root 7 over 2. So in this case we have two solutions. So what that means is that that straight line cuts through that circle in two places. Alright, so just to finish off, of course, putting it in coordinate form, -1 plus root 7 over 2 goes with 1 plus root 7 over 2, and -1 minus root 7 over 2 goes with 1 minus root 7 over 2. And there's our solutions. Alright, again you can do that on a calculator as well. Alright, one last one. Okay, so there we are, there's our two equations. We've got y equals 2x minus 1, which is one equation, and y equals 2 over x minus 3. Again, we're going to look at substituting, and what we're going to look at substituting is 1 into 2, and so 1 tells us that y equals 2x minus 1. We've got a y over there. One into 2, so substitute it. 2x take 1 equals 2 on x take 3. We'll then start our rearrangement bit, so 2x minus 1, x minus 3 equals 2, expand it out, so you get 2x squared minus 6x minus another 1 minus 7x plus 3 equals 2, take 2 away, 2x squared minus 7x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, and again we go to the quadratic formula. And when we go to the quadratic formula on this one, you end up with x equals 7 plus or minus that, which then ends up telling you that x is equal to 7 plus or minus square root 41 on 4 is what you end up with. Okay, so we've got two x values. So that means that these two things intersect in two places. So I don't need the plus or minus there, do I? I just need the plus there because the minus is the other option over here. And so that's for x2. Alright, and then when we substitute that into one or the other of those things, alright, you might substitute it into that. It's probably the easiest one. And when you end up doing that, you get y1 is 5 plus root 41 on 4, and y2 is 5 minus root 41 on 4. Alright, so again we have 2 points. Here's the first of those points, and then the other point is where we have the negatives in there. Alright, so those two intersect in 2 points. Alright, okay, so that's it, simultaneous equations. So yeah, you can do also by calculators, 2 sheets on that, one graphical method and then one using the solving template. Alright, so that's the last problem set. So it's exercise 8C, problem set number 9.